Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to be reacting to Anivia, the Cryo Phoenix, for the first time. If this is your first time on the channel, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at Anivia's biography and story. Then we'll move on to the gameplay abilities, move on to any cinematics, take a look at the skins, the wiki, and finally end off at any voice lines Anivia has at the very end. And the only thing I know about Anivia, well, I mean, we know about Anivia. Anivia is a demigod in the Freljord. I feel like Anivia is definitely the one that's been the least, like, nobody seems to really talk about Anivia. Everybody loves to talk about Ornn. Everybody loves to talk about Volibear. I definitely feel like Anivia hasn't gotten some love, so I'm going to give some Anivia love today with this reaction. All right, let's dive in here. The quote says, "I am the fury of the blizzard, the bite of the wind, and the cold of the ice. I am the Freljord." I mean, that's a pretty cool quote. Role is mage. Our related champions are, of course, Ornn, Volibear, Ashe, and Nunu and Willump. And we've reacted to all of those champs so far, so Anivia is the only one here. All right, Anivia is a benevolent winged spirit who endures endless cycles of life, death, and rebirth to protect the Freljord. A demigod born of unforgiving ice and bitter winds, she wields those elemental powers to thwart any who dare disturb her homeland. Anivia guides and protects the tribes of the harsh north, who revere her as a symbol of hope and a portent of great change. She fights with every ounce of her being, knowing that through her sacrifice, her memory will endure and she will be reborn into a new tomorrow. All right, I mean, Anivia again sounds pretty important to me, so let's learn more about Anivia. Anivia is an ancient Freljordian demigod who represents the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth intrinsically associated with the changing seasons. To those who venerate her, she is the elemental soul of the Freljord, a symbol of hope and a sacred catalyst of change. Stories passed down through the ages often tell of how she rewards those who are kind and humble. On the rare occasion a mortal glimpses her, or at least claims to, she is described as a noble spirit bird of ice with glittering wings that span the heavens and a piercing cry that can be heard over even the fiercest storm. The songs of the nomadic No-Tide tribe tell how Anivia's birth first brought snow into the world. When she burst from her giant egg of ice, tiny pieces of it were hurled into the sky, and it has fallen as snow ever since. And according to the sagas of the Morn Crow tribe, the frigid winds that scour the Freljord originate from the first beats of her wings. So Anivia's basically at least what we're hearing here is like she's the one that created snow and created the Freljord. Indeed, the full power of winter is Anivia's to command, and to those who seek to desecrate her homeland, she is a bitter foe. When roused to anger, she can cleave fortresses and mountains, and her screech can summon blizzards cold enough to shatter steel. Oh, that's crazy. One of the most enduring and respected beliefs is that Anivia's greatest gift to the Freljord was the creation of true ice. Okay. Infused with elemental magic, this unmelting substance is pure and potent, and the greatest seers and ice mages have long strived to use shards of true ice to amplify their might, while weapons that have even a tiny sliver forged into them are deadly beyond belief. When mortals first arrived in the Freljord, Anivia welcomed them. Seeing that they could not withstand the cold, she guided them to secluded valleys where they could shelter, become established, and slowly harden themselves against the elements. She nurtured and watched over them for those first precarious centuries, and they in turn worshipped her. Anivia hoped that these newly arrived tribes would remain unified in defending the Freljord from outsiders. But slowly, infighting and blood feuds became all too common, making an invasion inevitable. Yeah, humans basically humaned. According to legend, a greedy southern king marched his warriors up through the mountains, seeking to claim dominion over the Northlands and shackle their wild magic for himself. So enraged was Anivia at the outsiders' hubris and disrespect that she blasted them with a snowstorm that lasted a century and a day. Scattered standing stones can still be seen on the Scouring Plain, which the locals claim are all that remain of that ancient army. Okay, the Scouring Plain. Got all caps here. Who is the outside army that tried to go into the north? Are we talking about Noxus, or are we talking about Demacia? Who are we talking about? Other tales include the Avarosan legend of Ula Shatterspear, an iceborn war mother who was favored by Anivia for saving a young hawk from a Rimefang wolf. Across her lifetime, the Cryo Phoenix protected Ula from harm, and when she finally fell in battle, having witnessed almost 100 winters, it is said that Anivia welcomed her with wings spread wide. If all these legends are true, then Anivia must have witnessed the rise and fall of the countless mortal civilizations. While there are still some dwindling remnants of those earlier times, most have long been forgotten and buried beneath millennia of ice. But death cannot touch Anivia herself. The sagas speak of how she has been struck down and slain a handful of times throughout history, though she is always reborn. For as long as the Freljord exists, her soul is immortal. Okay. So she literally is the Freljord. As long as the Freljord is around, she will just be reborn. That's very cool. Well, maybe hundreds or even thousands of years before she rises again, each rebirth coincides with the dawning of a new era. Thus, her appearance, while regarded as a wondrous blessing, is often the harbinger of something terrible on the horizon. Oh, okay. That makes her even more cool, I feel like, because right now, I think maybe in current, I guess let me read the story, but I feel like in current lore right now, she's either dead or she's not. I don't know. Is she like being reborn currently, or has she just recently been reborn? And maybe that's telling us something terrible is on the horizon. I don't know. Once it is said she sacrificed herself against a march of towering Balestriders. Anivia knew she could not slay these colossal creatures, and so she plunged into the ice beneath their feet, shattering her own body in order to entomb them. Recently, some claim Anivia has hatched from the egg once more. Oh, okay. I just needed to read a couple more sentences. And that she has appeared before the new leader of the Avarosans, the War Mother Ash. In her, perhaps Anivia sees one who may be able to finally reunite the Freljord. Yet if the Cryo Phoenix has indeed returned, as more and more shamans and spirit walkers proclaim, then it must be asked, what great threat has she come to face? Ah, okay. That's a really cool biography. I mean, she is kind of cool. I mean, she is the Freljord. Anivia literally like protects those that are true to the Freljord. She wants to be with Ash because she wants to have like a united Freljord. Obviously, like Sejuani's not really doing much with that. Lyssandra's definitely not helping that. So she's behind Ash, who truly wants to, unite everybody in the Freljord. And that's what Anivia wants as well. But also the fact that she's just been hatched from the egg once more. So they say, what threat is coming to face the Freljord? That's pretty cool. All right, let's see. Oh, there is no story for her. We did kind of get like a biography / story with Anivia. I guess it makes sense that she wouldn't have a story because Anivia is like one of those kinds of champions that is a little bit more like on the mysterious side. So I do get that there isn't a story for Anivia. But okay. I really enjoyed this biography. I think it made me just like Anivia more than I already did. So let's go ahead and dive into the rest of the reaction. All right, let's look at Anivia's abilities. This might be why maybe people don't play Anivia, or maybe I don't hear about Anivia often. I do see role as mage, difficulty is high. Let's take a look here. So the passive is rebirth. What happens? Upon taking fatal damage, Anivia reverts to an egg and is reborn with full health. Huh? I guess you can stop it, I assume. So like if you die and like your teammates protect you, that's going to be my guess. You will be reborn. I feel like that passive is kind of meh because I feel like most of the time, and especially at high level play, being reborn is just not going to happen. All right, we have Flash Frost, Q. Anivia brings her wings together and summons a sphere of ice that flies towards her opponents, chilling and damaging anyone in its path. When the sphere explodes, it does moderate damage in a radius, stunning anyone in the area. Okay, just an ice blast or flash frost, whatever, basically the same thing. Ability, pretty cool. A decent range on it as well. We have crystallize. Oh, we got a crystal wall. That's pretty cool. W, Anivia condenses the moisture in the air into an impassable wall of ice to block all movement. The wall only lasts a short duration before it melts. I mean, that's a pretty big wall, though. That's pretty good, in my opinion. Frostbite. Okay, E. With the flap of her wings, Anivia blasts a freezing gust of wind at her target, dealing damage. If the target was recently hit by flash frost or damaged by a fully formed glacial storm, the damage they take is doubled. Okay, glacial storm is the ultimate. Let's look at that. So they could take double damage, basically, if they were recently hit by the Q or by the ultimate. Anivia summons a driving rain of ice and hail to damage her enemies and slow their advance. Okay, so literally just an AoE ice storm, hailstorm, ice and hailstorm. Okay, I mean, pretty basic stuff going on here, but I feel like the high difficulty is probably due to I don't see any like movement abilities. I don't see any shielding abilities. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how you combo with Anivia. Like, I don't know if maybe Anivia needs an update to their abilities. But yeah, you guys let me know everything about Anivia in the actual game, how Anivia actually plays. Does Anivia badly need an update, or is Anivia just fine? You guys let me know. All right, for Anivia, we do not have any sort of, cinematics really for her. We also don't have like a login screen or a Legends of Runeterra trailer or anything like that. So what we do have is a skins trailer for Blackfrost and Anivia. This is very old, 11 years old. It has 1.4 million views, so I figured we'd give it a shot and just watch it. But we do still have like skins. We do still have Legends of Runeterra voice lines and stuff like that later on. So that is going to be exciting. But this for now is going to be the only cinematic we have. Let's take a look. It's for a skin, an old skin too. So let's see. Oh, man. Okay, I see that Anivia's abilities have not been updated. Well, the names anyway. I guess we're going to go through them. This is a nice little addition to what we just did with the abilities. No? Okay. It looks like Anivia's abilities have not been touched in a while here, so...
As meaningless as one snowflake.
Yeah, do we need an Anivia rework? You guys let me know in the comments. The skin itself, I mean, I am curious what other kind of skins we're going to get it for Anivia, because I feel like Anivia is pretty unique in the fact that Anivia is literally a bird. So we should have some pretty cool stuff.
Finally. No, still not easy.
Okay, we just had Anivia lay an egg. I feel like that is... The devs are tragically dissing Anivia right now by making her lay an egg. But okay, anyways, let's go ahead and move on. I'm curious what skins we're going to get for Anivia, so let's actually dive into those. All right, at least Anivia has quite a bit of skins here, so I'm interested to see what we end up getting. Let's take a look at the original first, and then we'll move on to the rest. All right, here is Anivia in 3D, and then we have Eggnivia. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the, like, reborn version or whatever, or the egg version of Anivia as well for all of these. Okay, so Anivia here, we have some designs on the back. I didn't know about all of that. But yeah, this is what I know Anivia as, basically just like an ice. I don't even know what kind of bird you want to call it. Just a winged spirit. Let's just say that, because that's what it says in the description. I like the overall design of Anivia, and I'm curious what we're going to get. So let's take a look. Next is Team Spirit. Wait, what? What is this? Despite her festive colors, Anivia is an incredibly poor sport. She has been known to wall off the exits to locker rooms and fire icicles at her teammates when faced with a loss. Okay, so it's like, you know, if you're at like a team rally or something and you paint your face different colors, or if you're at a game, whether it be football or whatever, right? Okay, so that's what they were going with here. I don't know why that was the first design choice for a skin for Anivia, but there it is. You know, just if you want to have a little splash of color. All right, next is Birds of Prey. This is literally, okay. Never mind. If you want the American eagle, the American bald eagle, as they say, there you go. There is the skin for you. Even though the egg itself didn't change, you know, they should have actually changed it to be like a regular, I don't know what an eagle egg looks like. I assume maybe like this, but brown and white. Okay, yeah, there you go. If you want to play an eagle in League of Legends, this is your skin. All right, next we have Noxus Hunter, specifically Noxus Hunter. No lore with it, would have been cool. Okay, so literally it's Anivia with some gold armor. Anivia with some gold armor. Also no change to Eggnivia just yet. These are all old, so I understand, you know, I understand the old skins. They're not really trying too hard yet, so let's hold off. Let's look at the next one. And next is the Blackfrost skin. Okay, this is the one that we did see in the trailer. This is the first one where I think they actually tried. I think Blackfrost and the, you know, with the updated everything looks actually pretty good. Yeah, I think Anivia looks pretty scary here. I like the horn on the front. The wings look pretty awesome. The colors look awesome. Did the egg change? This is our first egg change as well. We got a little like animation to it. That's pretty fun. Oh, showing you actually when Anivia is being born or reborn as well. Cool. I like that. Okay. Yeah, this one is the first, I would say, like, pretty good one. All right, and there's still more to go. Prehistoric. Oh, this could be cool. Hold on. We turned Anivia into a dinosaur, and I kind of love that. I mean, hey, listen, a lot of people like dinosaurs, and if you're a dinosaur lover and an Anivia lover, this is the perfect skin for you. We got the little Anivia flare with like the back of the head here with the ice. We got some ice throughout the wings as well. So that's pretty cool to still make it look like Anivia instead of just straight up a dinosaur. The egg itself is very dinosaur-esque. I like that. Yeah, if you're just like a Jurassic Park fan or anything like that, I think this is actually a pretty fun skin to have in the game. Well, who else are you going to be able to play as like a dinosaur, right? In League. So this is cool. All right, next is Festival Queen. Oh, we turned Anivia into like a Birds of Prey or a Paradise bird. What is it called? Bird of Paradise. That's what I'm thinking of. I could be wrong on that one. For 1 week a year, Anivia takes a break from being a prophetic ice spirit of the Freljord and takes off for warmer climes. Somewhere people will appreciate her samba. Okay. Yeah, this is like another fun skin. Yeah, it makes sense that for Anivia, we're literally just going to get like different variations of birds, right? Like that's cool though, because they could do some really fun stuff with that. Here is the egg. You know, I'm not like the biggest fan of the egg. And the style of this as well just isn't really for me, but I know it is a good skin if you like this kind of bird, like IRL or anything. So this is still a cool skin. Next is Papercraft. Oh, origami. Hey, origami Anivia. I didn't even think of that. Okay, see, now that's pretty creative. And it also has different chromas, so that's going to be fun. Let's take a look. Yeah, so if you want like an origami Papercraft Anivia, that's really fun. I like that. That's pretty creative. I didn't even think, like I was just thinking of other birds that Anivia could be. I didn't even go to an origami version in my head, so that's pretty cool. And then we have the egg. Ah, yes. There you go. I've seen that egg before. Let me know in the comments if any of you are good at origami or not. That'd be cool. Let me know. All right, moving on. All right, just a few more. Oh, Cosmic Flight. Anivia got a cosmic skin. Cosmic skins are some of my favorites, so let's see here. Oh yeah, I mean, look at the wings. The wings are cool. The armor around Anivia is cool. The head almost looks like a Azir. I don't know if that was the plan to go with that, but I mean, Azir obviously looks like, you know. Anyway, okay. So let's see, we have chromas, we got some red, we got some black and orange, some blues. Yeah, okay, Cosmic Flight Anivia, definitely my style again of the kind of skin that I would definitely probably use for Anivia if I played her. So that's a pretty good one. And then the egg, I mean, the egg is okay. The egg is solid. I mean, I don't know what they could have done with a cosmic egg to begin with. So it's pretty good. I like it. All right, just a few more here. We have Divine Phoenix. I was wondering when we were going to get like a straight, I don't know. Okay, this looks cool. This might be the best one yet. Because, I mean, while Cosmic Anivia is cool, I do still actually like the bird aspect with like feathers and all of that and the wings and everything. So this one, looking like an actual bird Anivia, I think this one's really good. Let's see. Some chromas. Oh, wow. That red is really like, I don't know, bright. It sticks out. We got orange. We got some blue, purple, black. Almost looks like a Pokemon here, to be honest with you. Actually, Anivia is just a Pokemon in League of Legends at this point. Ooh, this last one, like all the different colors makes it look really, really cool. And the egg. Oh, this is probably the best egg yet as well. It's almost like a jeweled lotus or something. Looks a little like a lotus. All right, this is a good one. I like it. This one's by far my favorite, I think. We do have two more though. Bewitching. We really got a bewitching bat Anivia skin. They turned Anivia into a bat. That's crazy. I actually love that. Bat is another flying animal that I didn't think they would turn Anivia into. But I love my Halloween skins. This is actually great. Holy crap. This is a really good skin. Oh man, yeah, I mean, the only part about this that might suck is that I don't know how many people play Anivia, but I think this is a super good skin. The fact that all the colors look really good. She is just a giant bat. And you play as Anivia as a giant bat, and she's got a little witch hat too. That's so fun. I like this quite a bit. Let's look at the egg. The egg is a pumpkin. The original colors, we got the orange pumpkin. Yeah, man, I really enjoy this one. All right, last but not least, we have Victorious. Oh, okay, Victorious. We like some Victorious skins. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, I don't know if I like the colors for this, actually. The original colors anyways. The original colors are okay. It's looking a little similar to the other one we just took a look at. Maybe the feathers and the wings are a little bit bigger, or on the wings are a little bit bigger. I don't know if I like the chroma colors on this. Okay, that one's pretty decent. The purple there is pretty good. Yeah, and the red and then this blue one at the end is good. But the original design, I'm not really feeling it. I'm not about it, or the brown or the gray or anything, or the green, but like the blue, the red, and the purple towards the end, pretty good, pretty good. Still a good skin, still a lot better than those like first like 5 skins for Anivia. So, I mean, I can't really complain. And the egg, if you like this egg, I think this is a pretty good egg. It's not bad. Is it actually, I don't see it like getting any bigger. It's just like cooking. It's just spinning. I thought we'd maybe see like the reborn animation for it, but we're not seeing that. That's okay. All right, guys, I have my top 3. I am curious if you guys want to tell me what your 3 favorite skins are. This one's a pretty easy one for me, I think. While I want to say Prehistoric is a fun one, I'm going to give it like a honorable mention because I think that's a pretty cool one. We are definitely going to go with, this is easy, Cosmic Flight, Divine Phoenix, and the Bewitching Bat Anivia. And I think Bewitching Bat Anivia actually takes the cake as my favorite. It was by far better than Cosmic, I think. Cosmic is definitely third. I think it's actually pretty close between Divine Phoenix and Batnivia, but this Batnivia skin was done so well that it might be my favorite Bewitching skin. I don't know, actually, because there's some pretty good Bewitching skins. I actually haven't seen them all either, but yeah, I really like this one. If you're wondering why the text is green, that's because we are doing this on April Fool's Day, and apparently they make the text green for whatever reason. Anyway, trivia. Anivia's dance references the chicken dance, a fad dance. We know the chicken dance. She shares this dance with Birdio. Oh, okay. The quote in her lore references Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. Anivia is the first female entirely non-humanoid champion, the second being Rek'Sai. You guys let me know in the comments if Rek'Sai has some good lore that I should get to. As stated by Brian Feral Pony Feeney, Flashfrost resembles the very first Nexus crystal. From the previous rating system, Anivia was one of 5 champions with a difficulty of 10. Oh, okay. The others being Cassiopeia, Evelyn, Rumble, and Yasuo. However, Anivia has not been given this rating originally. Anivia also had an ability of 10, which made her the only champion that scored 2 10 ratings. Okay, apparently that was in the previous rating system. All right, guys, let's move on to the wiki. All right, guys, let's look at Anivia's wiki. So we have some aliases for Anivia. We have Winter's Mother, the Undying Eagle, Goddess of Winter, the Frostbringer, the Cryo Phoenix. And then I do see the family here. So we obviously know of Ornn, brother, Volibear's brother, Ildharg, a sibling. I do remember Ildharg. And we have Hestrel as a sibling as well. And then there's these unnamed ones where we could possibly get these in the future, right? So we have unnamed Wildclaw, unnamed Raven, Seal Sister, unnamed Lynx, and unnamed Owl. So those could possibly come in the future. That'd be really cool. I think the Owl and the Raven sound like pretty cool ones in my opinion. All right, looking at the rest of the wiki, we're going to go to stuff that I haven't read about yet. I guess let's start off with the 3 sisters and see if there's anything new in there. So a young mortal woman named Lysandra alongside her 2 sisters, Avarosa and Cyrilda, sought to harness the magics of the world and claim dominion over the entire Voicelines. In order to do so, each sister scoured the world for ancient powers to harness, with Lysandra seeking to tame the wild magic of the land itself. Anivia's brothers, Valhyr and Ildharg, however, grew angered by Lysandra's defiance and sought to destroy the 3 sisters for their transgressions. However, Anivia, alongside her other siblings, was more inclined to work with the sisters rather than declare a war. Okay, so that's pretty important, I feel like, to note that Anivia wanted to work alongside them. After the eldest sister, Lysandra, made a pact with otherworldly masters, these 3 sisters would form a mighty alliance and lead a horde of warriors called the Iceborn. These powerful mortals were attuned to elemental magics of the ice, capable of wielding and utilizing the true ice substance, and practically immune to the frigid cold of the Voicelines, now called the Freljord. As Lysandra and her sisters gained power and marched with their armies, they slowly erased the influences of the Freljordian demigods in favor of venerating the 3 sisters as goddesses, affecting the worship of Anivia and her siblings over time. Yeah, so basically kind of a mistake for Anivia to want to work alongside them because Lysandra really just betrayed them. Anyway, that was just a nice little recap of Lysandra lore too in there. All right, we have modern history, myths, and legends. Anivia is ancient enough to have witnessed countless mortal civilization and is highly revered by many tribal communities of the Freljord. Many stories and legends have been told in Anivia's honor, cementing her as a staple for most of Freljordian mythology and culture. One of the oldest stories of Anivia tells of how her brother Ornn felled one of her favorite perching trees to build his house, the Hornhall. Oh no. Annoyed by this, Anivia sought to prank her brother by tickling his nose with her feathers as he slept, causing him to sneeze out a gout of flame and setting his bed sheets on fire. Anivia, panicked by the blaze of fire building in the wooden house, flapped her wings to fly away and accidentally stoked the fire even hotter within the dry Freljordian air, causing all of Hornhall to light ablaze. Dang, she just ended up like literally lighting his house on fire, okay? Ornn woke up on top of a pile of ashes in a bad mood, feeling disturbed in his sleep but unaware of the prank Anivia did on him, something she hasn't told him to this day. Oh, Anivia. Oh, she's got to be thinking about that all the time. The nomadic Notai highly revere Anivia, traveling along the waves of frost believed to spill from Anivia's massive wings. Well known for their songs and storytelling, the Notai have many songs that detail Anivia's magnificent birth, bursting from a giant egg of ice and hurling tiny shards into the sky to eventually fall as snow. Another tribe called the Morn Crow have sagas telling how the frigid winds and blizzards that scour the Freljord actually originate from the first beats of Anivia's wings when she first birthed into the world. And then we have the Avarosan tribe, tribe have a legend about an iceborn war mother named Ula Shatterspear, who was favored by Anivia herself for saving a young hawk from a Rime-Fang wolf. Yeah, we know about that. Throughout Ula's life, Anivia protected her from harm until she finally fell in battle after witnessing 100 winters. After her death, Ula's soul was welcomed by Anivia herself with wings spread wide. All right, we have recent events. Anivia has reemerged from her egg once more, marking the start of a new era for the Freljord and bringing great change. She most recently appeared before Ash, who continued her deceased mother Grenna's search for the mythical throne of Avarosa. Ash, now the new war mother of the Avarosan tribe, is seen by Anivia as the one who can finally reunite the tribes of the Freljord, and thus has somewhat gained the favor of the Cryo Phoenix. With Anivia's return to the Freljord, more and more shamans and spirit walkers of the old demigods feel her presence and the new era she heralds to the Freljord, though they are unsure of what great threat she has come to face. That's kind of the worrisome part there, right? All right, let's get into the appearance. Anivia is massive, eagle-like creature composed entirely of crystalline blue ice. She also has a single fuchsia crystal on her forehead. Her egg form is an icy globe which glows with white magic and appears swaddled in a nest of icy spikes. All right, personality. This is going to be interesting. So, revered by both the Notai and the Yeti of old, Anivia is seen as a benevolent guardian deity. Freljordian legend, she has notably been an advocate for forgiveness and unity among all of the Freljord's people. The Notai and the Yeti have been called her children by her brothers before, hinting at her more nurturing nature. She also advocates diplomacy before war, as seen when she advises her kin to work together with the three sisters. While she is a peaceful being, she is not a pacifist. She has notably defended the Freljord from outside forces like Southerners, who seek to claim the Voicelines as their own, as well as Voidborn and the Watchers that created them, who threaten Runeterra itself. While she is unable to die, she is willing to sacrifice herself in order to save the Freljord from annihilation. Basically, Anivia, I mean, there's tons of defenders of the Freljord, right? But Anivia, literally her main and only goal is protecting the Freljord, right? That's all she cares about. Abilities, we probably have a few here. Spirit God Physiology. Anivia is an ancient divine being embodying an aspect of the world. In her case, Anivia embodies the concepts of ice, winter, changing of seasons, rebirth, and hope in Freljordian culture. As a spirit god, Anivia is empowered by the belief of her followers and linked to the cultural concepts she embodies. We have winged flight. Anivia takes the form of a giant majestic bird made of ice and snow with massive wings. Though these wings grant her the ability of flight, she may also use these wings to summon great blizzards as ice and snow constantly fall off her wings. Immortality, of course. As a spirit goddess, Anivia cannot age or die as long as the concepts she embodies and the Freljord itself still exists. Historically, however, Anivia has been struck down in battle several times over thousands of years. Whenever this occurs, Anivia is sure to be reborn and emerge from an egg soon after, with her rebirth marking a new era for the Freljord. We have her ice magic. As a powerful goddess of the winter, Anivia is linked to the elemental magics of ice and frost. Many legends tell of her immense strength and capability in controlling the winter. She is capable of summoning great blizzards, erect mighty walls of ice, and is even believed to have created the magical substance true ice. And empowerment. Like all spiritual gods, Anivia has the ability to give parts of her power to her followers and all who worship her. I actually forgot about that little part there at the end, that her followers can actually be given a little bit of her power as well. Okay, so we have our relationships here. We got a couple, so let's go through all of them. So we have Freljordian demigods. Anivia is one of the Freljordian demigods responsible for creating and forging the very land itself. All of the gods are siblings with one another, with Anivia being among one of the older ones. Anivia has not shown any true ill will to any of her fellow gods and is related to deities such as the Seal Sister and other currently unnamed spirits. All right, Ornn. Ornn is the eldest of the Freljordian demigods, being the god of the forge and magma. Ornn doesn't socialize with his siblings very much, but hasn't shown any ill will towards Anivia. However, there are legends within the Freljord that tell of how Anivia, after Ornn felled her favorite perching tree, pulled the prank that we read about recently. Okay, and then we have Volibear. The mighty Volibear, also known as Val here, is the Freljordian demigod of storms and warfare. Volibear interacted with Anivia when he called his siblings together to declare war on the Ice Witch Lysandra. Many of the gods, especially Anivia, actually denied Volibear's proposal of war and was more inclined to cooperate with the mortals. Despite this, and despite his violent nature, Volibear actually highly respects Anivia as a goddess. I was going to say, basically everybody likes Anivia. So I feel like Anivia should have the most worshippers, in my opinion, in all of the Freljord amongst all of the demigods. But obviously there's going to be random sects or tribes there that will be like, oh, I like Volibear more or whatever, right? So, but Anivia seems like she's like the most known, I feel like, amongst most of the tribes and respected, right? Lysandra, though it's unsure whether or not Anivia has personally interacted with Lysandra, she is the one who moved to make peace with her instead of declaring war like her brother Volibear proposed. Anivia felt the Ice Witch's presence when she rallied her army of Iceborn to claim dominion over the Freljord as followers of the old gods began to die out in her crusade to wipe out all of their worshippers. Ashe. Anivia hasn't personally interacted with Ashe, but she did appear before her at the mythical Avarosa's throne, where Ashe found her signature True Ice bow. Recently, word has spread that Ashe has actually gained the favor of Anivia herself as she sees Ashe in a way to truly unite the Freljord. We have the Notai tribe, highly revere Anivia in particular, having many stories and songs passed down for generations that speak of her many deeds and detailing her magnificent birth and rebirth within the world. They are nomadic and travel by following wherever the snow may fall, traveling along the waves of frost believed to fall off of Anivia's wings as she flies. All right, we have Nunu and Willem. Nunu hasn't personally met Anivia, but was born within the Notai tribe, where he heard many stories and songs about her, particularly from his mom, Leica. So he's definitely going to be like one of the worshippers or followers of Anivia. Then we have Udyr. As the most powerful spirit walker in the Freljord, Udyr is easily capable of channeling the powers of all the Freljordian spirits, including Anivia herself. When channeling Anivia, Udyr enters his storm stance, gaining the ice magic of the Cryo Phoenix herself. All right, the trivia. Anivia is a prehistoric entity being at least 10,000 years old and possibly much older than that. As a spirit god, Anivia acts as a manifestation of cultural ideas, given immense power by the belief of her followers. Because of this, her power can wax and wane depending on her worship or even disappear entirely for a long time. But again, like I said, I think it sounds like Anivia is one of the more known / respected ones. So I feel like it might be a little bit harder for her power to go, just amongst the siblings and stuff. It's most likely that True Ice's origins are traced back to Anivia, as Silas can obtain ice magic similar to hers when he made contact with True Ice. While in egg form, Anivia is often referred to as Eggnivia. In League of Legends, Anivia's in-game name changes accordingly while she is resurrecting with her passive. So it actually changes to Eggnivia, and there's actually a card, Eggnivia, in Legends of Runeterra, which does what? A level up round start. If you're enlightened, transforming back into Anivia and level up. Okay. All right. Lots of cool stuff in here. For an older champion, you know, some of them don't really have very much background or like info in the wiki, but I'm really glad Anivia actually had a lot of stuff in here. We got to read a lot. We got to learn a little bit more about Anivia and the Freljord. So this was a very nice read, and I really appreciate all the lore that we got in here. All right, we're going to start things off with the Legends of Runeterra voice lines. Now, there is a Skin Spotlights video, but it's a little bit of an older one, and I wanted to just do the wiki, I think, instead, because the older video isn't like chaptered out and stuff like that. So this was just a better way of listening to her voice lines. We also didn't see Anivia's card in Legends of Runeterra, so she is a 6 mana 3/5, so a little bit lower on the attack. But Anivia attack, deal 1 to all enemies in the enemy nexus. Last breath, revive me, transformed into Eggnivia, and then level up when you are enlightened. Okay, and then we have the leveled up version. She is a 4/6 attack, deal 2 damage to all enemies in the enemy nexus. That's pretty good. Last breath again, revive me, transformed into Eggnivia. So again, she can just be reborn each time in even in Legends of Runeterra. Very cool. All right, we have the rest of her cards here, but let's get into her voice lines, or quotes as they call them here. We do have some trivia. Internally, Glacial Storm is called Unending Blizzard. Fortress of the Iceborn is featured in the background of level 1 Anivia and Eggnivia. Eggnivia is based on Anivia's rebirth. The two versions of Glacial Storm are based off of Anivia's Glacial Storm. Anivia is voiced by Kari Walgren. She's also appeared in the artwork of Wings of the Cryo Phoenix in the silhouette form. Okay, all right, let's just dive in here. I don't know what to expect here. I don't think I may have heard her voice maybe a couple times in other reactions, so let's dive in. Here we go. All right, summoned.
Forever watchful.
Oh, okay.
The spirit of winter awakens. A storm approaches.
She has a very soothing voice.
Here in your time of need, something ancient stirs.
She sounds very, I don't know, she just sounds nice. And I guess that's what I think of Anivia. Again, she's not a pacifist, but she definitely seems like she's more on the side of peace here, and her voice is soothing to go along with it. All right, so with an allied Ornn present.
The spirit of winter awakens.
Pretty words won't unburn my house, Anivia.
Oh, okay, but apparently he doesn't actually know Anivia is responsible for that.
Here in your time of need.
I thought demigods were supposed to be rare.
Yeah, the Ornn voice lines that we reacted to a long time ago were a fun time for sure.
A storm approaches.
What is this, a family reunion?
All right, enemy Ornn present.
Something ancient stirs.
So it's just repeats so far for Anivia.
I'm still angry with you, sister.
Now see, this makes it sound like he does know that she burned down his house.
A storm approaches.
Nope, get out of here. Shoo, shoo.
All right, we have an allied Ash present.
You are the shield of our people.
And you are their future.
Okay, here we go.
Did you know Avarosa?
Oh.
She was bold, fair, kind, much like you.
Yep, definitely favoring Ash here. Allied Braum.
My talons are frost, my wings the bitter winds.
And Brom is your wingman.
Oh, enemy Elise present. This is interesting.
You're far from your flock, little bird.
A bird of prey hunts alone.
There you go. That's a good response, too. Enemy Spider Queen Elise present.
You're far from your flock.
Oh, same thing.
A bird of prey hunts alone.
Okay. Enemy Lysandra present.
The spirit of winter awakens.
Okay, it's the same thing for Anivia on both of these,
The spirit of winter awakens.
unfortunately, but...
Then I shall put you to sleep again.
Oh, there you go.
Only by my hand.
All right, enemy Sejuani present. She
The
just says the same
spirit
thing
of
again.
winter awakens.
Spirit of winter awakens and a storm approaches.
A storm approaches.
All right, but let's get Sejuani's voice lines. Obviously, they're not going to be the same like Ash. We did just do Sejuani recently as well.
I have always wanted to kill a demigod. Bristle, we're going bird.
We did hear these recently, so these are very good as well. All right, enemy Vladimir.
Stay out of my way, bird.
That sounds like Silco. Is that the same voice actor as Silco?
Stay out of my way, bird.
Does it not? All right, Anivia.
I will not let your malevolence corrupt my land.
Yeah, she will protect the Freljord from Vladimir.
Do you see me, Anivia? Do you see my power?
Calling Anivia by her name. I would imagine Vladimir, being a Black Rose member, would have some of the knowledge that LeBlanc has, and she probably told him about Anivia, or maybe he just knows about the demigods and the Freljord.
You're a plague on this land, Vladimir, nothing more.
All right, here we go. Enemy Volibear.
A storm approaches.
Okay, it's repeating her stuff
Something
again.
ancient stirs.
It will ground and crush you, and something winged dies.
All right, allied Ash.
You return hope to this broken land.
There you go.
Together, we'll find peace for the Freljord.
I don't know, man. Not with Sejuani in the picture, or Lysandra. All right, allied Tryndamere.
The Freljord is a cycle of death and rebirth.
Then the Freljord is truly my home.
All right, I haven't reacted to Tryndamere yet, but I do know about his ultimate ability of the whole, like, he can't die kind of thing. So, yeah, I get this little voice line interaction there. All right, allied Scar Maiden Reaver.
I've survived a few winters.
Survivors, like all the Freljord's children.
Allied Scar Mother Verna. Verna.
We'll take what we want. The rest will burn.
Your scars speak of many long winters.
All right, allied She Who Wanders. Oh, here we go.
As I feared, they've returned.
The Watchers.
I have felt this corruption before. You know of eternity.
Yep, there we go. Okay, They Who Endure and Yeti. They Who Endure next.
Strange enemies have returned.
Strange enemies, that's what she called them.
The ancient ones walk these lands once more. Where she walks, death follows.
Yeah, you can tell Anivia is very, like, she sees They Who Endure and She Who Wanders. They're definitely huge threats, and I don't know if Anivia can handle them, to be honest with you. All right, allied Yeti Yearling.
Take shelter from the cold, little creature. Such fragile lives.
She loves all creatures of the Freljord, right? All right, we have Level Up. Oh, the Level Up theme. All right.
This is our time. A new era begins.
Okay, that's a good one because of the whole fact that she's like now basically back in this new era of the Freljord.
Eternal winter. The Freljord's eternal guardian.
Eternal Guardian. Yep. All right, allied Glacial Storm.
Endless cold. Endless peace. A world in perfect stillness. Strike them down. Blow winds and crack your cheeks.
Blow winds and crack your cheeks. Kind of sounds funny.
Rend the skies.
All right, these are pretty good, actually. Allied Avalanche.
Bury all in snow. Wrapped in cold silence.
All right, allied Harsh Winds.
The chill before the storm. Brace yourselves.
Allied The Harrowing.
A wickedness breaches the horizon. The icy grip of death thaws. Listen, They come.
They come. The Harrowing. Revive the 6 strongest allies that died this game and grant them ephemeral. Ooh. All right, and then we have Allied Winter's Breath.
Freeze the fight from their hearts. Cover them in ice.
Okay, so obviously with a lot of these Anivia voice lines, we're getting ice, we're getting like winter, cold, snow kind of voice lines, right? Makes sense. All right, attacks declared.
Snow, wind, and ice.
Wait, what did I just say? I basically said those same things and then she just turned it into a freaking voice line.
I bring the storm.
I swear I didn't see that coming.
Let's soar. For my homeland.
There we go. For my homeland, let's soar. That one works as well. Blocks declared.
I protect this place. I will endure.
2 voice lines that pretty much sum up Anivia as well. She protects the Freljord and she doesn't die. All right, and then her death voice lines.
I will be reborn, ever watchful. Rest in ice.
Rest in ice. That's a good one.
Tomorrow we rise anew. Time to reflect.
And then Anivia groans. And then we have chosen.
On my wings.
Removed from choice.
The frosts call me home.
Oh, I noticed there's no defeat voice lines.
Until our paths cross once more. The cycle is complete.
The cycle is complete. Interesting voice line there. All right, this was some cool stuff. You know, I was getting a little worried because some of these at the beginning, right, a lot of the like interactions were a little bit repeat. I was like, oh no, are they just going to be a little lazy and kind of just repeat some of her stuff? But eventually we did get out of those, and then we eventually did get some cool voice lines here. I like the interactions, I think, the most with Ornn, even though she's not really saying anything. It's more Ornn saying things, but I just like, it seems like Anivia and Ornn are fun siblings, in my opinion. The Ash ones are cool as well. It's nice to see Anivia and Ash together. Go check out my Ash reaction if you haven't already. But yeah, a lot of fun interactions here. You can see that she's pretty scared of the Watchers. That makes sense. And then a lot of her spell voice lines down here are actually really, really good. Like I said, they're all just about snow, wind, and ice, but, you know, used in different ways, used in kind of scary ways. But again, her voice is soothing, like to the point that I don't think Anivia's voice isn't scary whatsoever, but it's definitely very, I don't know, it's very nice to hear. It's very, but, you know, Anivia being who she is, you should still be scared of her. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the League voice lines. Those are going to be the older ones unless she had a voice update, but I don't know if she did or not. I don't think she did. So let's go check those out. All right, we're going to look at the voice lines here. It looks like there are additional voice lines for the Cosmic Flight version of Anivia, but we're just going to take a look at the original. So pick sound effect. Okay.
On my wings,
And the band.
I shall endure.
Yes, you shall. All right, let's start off with the moving voice lines. We'll just run through them.
Meaning in every snowflake. Something ancient stirs. I am neither the first nor the last.
I am neither the first nor the last. Okay.
What change will this wind bring? Take time to reflect.
This one about the what change will this wind bring talks about how like Anivia is also like the change of seasons and stuff too there.
I dream of eras past. Think beyond one lifetime. We are all connected.
We are all connected.
I will be reborn.
Yes.
Forever watchful. Winter wind, guide me. 1,000 lives will I give for the Freljord.
Yep. Okay.
Let's soar. I have felt this corruption before.
Okay. We got a few like repeat ones in here that are in the Legends of Runeterra ones, but they do sound a little bit different, I will say. All right, taunts.
So young, so naive.
I'm wondering if I like this delivery of Anivia's voice lines even more.
Poor creatures, so confined by a single life.
It seems like she's speaking a little bit slower here, and maybe I just like that. Poor creature so confined by a single life. Listen, that's all we get, all right, Anivia? We don't get to be reborn like you. All right, we have jokes.
Laying an egg isn't as easy as it looks. The chicken or the egg? Actually, I came first.
Okay, that has to be the best voice line so far. I mean, in a joking sense, that is the best voice line so far because we do have that like laying an egg animation that I did see in that skin cinematic. But the fact that she knows the question, the chicken or the egg, and she has a response to it is pretty fun. All right, we have her laughs. I'm just imagining an ice eagle laughing in the air. It makes no sense. Okay. All right, and then we have the attacking voice lines.
Find peace. Life passes so swiftly. I bring the storm. I shall endure. A great darkness approaches.
There it is again. A great darkness approaches. So yeah, I feel like this has specifically to do with Lysandra and all of that stuff going on, right? I mean, I don't think it's the Voidborn.
The Freljord awakens. Do not tempt the blizzard.
Do not tempt the blizzard. I assume she's talking about herself.
I will not forsake my home. I am the snow, wind, and ice.
Okay, that's a pretty cool voice line. I am literally the snow, wind, and ice. You should fear me.
The cycle closes.
All right, ability casting. We're going to switch on over to using Frostbite. We just have grunts. And then we have, it looks like, so there's a rebirth. Samba music plays for the Samba version, and then Recall, also Anivia dances the Samba music for the Recall. But let's just listen to the originals. So then we have her death, which are just groans. Oh, geez. These are terrible. She sounds like she's in terrible pain. Okay. The death voice lines I will never get over. They are just ridiculous. All right, it looks like there's actually no trivia here for just regular Anivia, the Cryo Phoenix. It looks like there's just trivia for the other ones. All right, so we're not going to look at that. All right, these were good voice lines. I think some of the favorite standouts, especially in the League one here, is definitely the chicken or the egg. Actually, I came first. And then the one that I just pointed out, I am the snow, wind, and ice. Like, that is a pretty badass voice line, in my opinion, especially if you are somebody living in the Freljord and Anivia says that to you. You should definitely fear Anivia if she is the one attacking you at that moment. Like I said, guys, I know going into this, Anivia seemed like one of the lesser popular of the demigods, whether it came to lore or whether it came to just the amount of people playing Anivia. And I think we learned mostly it's because because first off, Ornn and Volibear, I can definitely see why they are very popular. Ornn is a funny guy. Volibear is a crazy, like, just aggressive bear demigod. So, like, that's just cool in general, right? So Anivia, while still very cool, I can see Anivia is definitely maybe on the more tame side of, like, lore and the voice lines and things like that. But I do also, I did also remember that her difficulty was high when it came to, like, her abilities and things like that. So maybe she's also just a little bit harder to use in the game. So I do see why she's maybe on the less popular side compared to Volibear and Ornn. But nonetheless, after doing this reaction, I definitely see Anivia is definitely just as important, if not the most important, because Anivia is the one that created True Ice. Anivia is the one that created the Freljord to begin with, right? So she is, you know, like I said, if not the most important demigod in all of the Freljord, right? So yeah, that's all pretty cool stuff. In my opinion, makes her very important. She's going to be important in the future, no matter what, being the person that created the Freljord and somebody that also doesn't die, right? She is always reborn, unless for some reason something happens and she can't be reborn in the future. That would be pretty crazy. But yeah, Anivia is going to be somebody that's going to be important throughout all of Runeterra for all of time here, as long as Freljord still exists, right? I definitely want to see what ends up happening with her, you know, backing Ashe. And, you know, again, like I said, in some of my other Freljord reactions, when they eventually push the lore of the Freljord further, you know, what's going to go on with Anivia backing Ashe, what's going to go on with, you know, the tribes warring and the Lysandra stuff, right? There's always the Lysandra stuff cooking up in the Freljord as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that whenever we get it. All right, guys, leave all your comments about Anivia. Anything, if you want to tell us any funny story of like you playing Anivia and you got like a pentakill or something with Anivia, I don't know, let us know in the comments. Let me know anything you know about Anivia that I maybe did not cover in this, or if there's anything I missed about Anivia that you guys want to let me know about. Please leave that in the comments as well. All right, guys, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.